We are back.
I don't feel like I'm ready.
I'm Tara.
I'm Natalie.
And we are making a movie, and this is a podcast about us making that movie. And we are back from a 2-week off period, and neither of us feel completely ready to do a podcast today because we've been going fast and furious in the film festival life lately.
Yes.
If you're just not joining us for the very first time, which is a high probability, we have a lot of new people out there. This is a podcast about Natalie and I making our very first feature film. It's following in real time with our adventures so that you may get to garner off of some of our lessons that we're learning along the way and our research. The movie is called Turns Out. It's the apocalypse, we think. It is a buddy comedy set in the apocalypse, a comedy, of course, knowing us. And we are just in the throes right now of development land, where we are putting all the parts and pieces on the board and trying to get everyone together to make the movie in the very, very near future. Before we really dive in, we got to do some thank you. Thank you, Toby. Toby PayPal'd us some funds to help us make this movie. If you want to be like Toby, we have mechanisms for that. All of our super chats that we get when we do the show live on YouTube go directly into helping us make the movie. It's going to get put into a little bank account and put out into to different things. Right now, we've been doing a lot of film festival submission stuff for script competitions, and that's been going so well. So thank you to everyone's support for that, because man, that's been getting some ball rolling for us. We also have the PayPal, which is the route that Toby went. Below in our descriptions and all the places you can find us, there's a PayPal button, and you can PayPal us some funds to help us make the movie happen. We appreciate you guys. It means the world to us when you guys give us, and no amount is too small. No amount. $5, no amount too small. All right, one more thing before we get into the funner stuff. We have a sponsor, and I'm so excited about the sponsor today. Echo Park DCP is our sponsor for this episode. We got to see the work that they did for us on In the Event of up on a big screen at the Gig Harbor Film Festival.
Really big screen. That's a giant screen.
Massive, and it looked good.
Yes.
I mean, listen, there was still some work to be done on some of my editing and green screen work, but their job, the DCP, played beautifully. It looked so good. It was so exciting. So if you are a filmmaker looking for your DCP, they're a great place to go to. They're very affordable. Their entire motivation is to make it affordable and for you to understand what the DCP process is. And when you're making a short like ours, like getting something affordable but well done, we really needed that.
Can you explain to the layman's what a DCP is?
Oh,
I
can't.
Course. Do you know what it is?
Yes, I can.
Google it really quick. I'm like, I don't know what it stands for.
I don't know what it stands for, but I do know what it is. DCPs basically take the digital version of your movie and put it back into a film version of your movie. So when you make a digital version of your movie, you don't have frames anymore. It's replicating those frames per second, but it isn't actually frames. It's a video file. So it's going to take that video file and make it into frames. And so it's a big taxing process for a computer to do, to take your digital file and then go make a frame every second. It makes those 24 frames per second.
Yeah,
so it takes a lot of processing. Go ahead.
So it's digital cinema package, and it's the standard format that you need to play in theaters. And that's why you have to have it, is that in order to play in a theater, you have to have a DCP. What you're playing on your computer won't work in in the big theaters. So, and it's expensive to get done. So thank you, Echo Park DCP.
you could always do it yourself, but you're unable to check that. You can't watch
Yeah.
a DCP on your computer. It's very scary
Mhm.
to do. So handing it off to a trusted source to make and to be able to know it's going to work in that theater, because I've been in there when the DCP hasn't worked, and it's a terrifying moment. So
Mm.
it's a very soothing process to know you're working with a company that knows what it's doing. So
Yep.
it's scary. Okay, onward. Breaking news. We got some stuff.
We have some
Go for it.
fun breaking news. I don't know if I think it happened right after last week's episode. We did make it the finalist for comedy in Page International Screenwriting Competition. So it turns out It's the Apocalypse, we think, is in the top. It was like the top 10 of all of the comedy scripts that they received. We won't know until October 15th
I
if
think that's right.
where we place finally, but that's a big one because that was ones that they got thousands and thousands. I don't remember what the number was when they first told us, but it was way
It was a
more
lot.
than had
Yeah.
reads. I don't know what kind of team they got going on over there. And then this one, I'm going to tell a whole little story here so you get the full experience. Tara
Go.
and I are at Gig Harbor Film Festival. We are sitting in our Saturday night screening. Tara has already had her horror film, Death is a Favor, up on the screen. My phone starts blowing up. Tara's sitting 2 seats down from me, like there's people between us. And my phone is blowing up and I don't know what's going on. So I look down and I see this message that says, congratulations. And it's a picture of a screen that has the Jello in room 913 has won a grant package to be filmed in Reno, Nevada. That's the script that Justin and I wrote together. Congratulations, Justin.
Congratulations.
So I pass it down to Tara and I was like, oh my God, what? Yeah. And she says, she whips her mouth, I guess we're making a movie. Like, because now there's money behind this other thing.
Yeah, we're
Uh,
doing it.
so she passes the phone back to me. I'm like, I have no idea what this entails, blah, blah, blah. I still don't know what this entails because we haven't been in contact with him. And I go, I need to step outside. So I start walking outside and I must have had this look of sheer panic on my face because Pamela, the director of the film festival, was standing. She was, is everything all right? I go, yeah, everything's fantastic. So she follows me. Tara's in tow and I'm explaining what's happening. She's jumping around like a little girl, like so excited for us. And then I go to the next message and I realize, turns out It's the Apocalypse, we think, won for best comedy screenplay as well, feature length comedy screenplay at Cordillera Film Festival, which is why it fits into breaking news into this show. It does not come with a package. So, but it's just another little feather in the cap there, turns out won best comedy screenplay at Cordillera Film Festival, which is a great film festival. We didn't
It
get to be
is.
there, but yeah. So that is our breaking news. I
It's
don't know,
very
like,
exciting.
yeah, it's
It's wild.
super. I mean, we
Yeah.
jumped up at when I turned to Tara and I said, turns out one. And we both just like fell to the floor and had
Yeah.
like convulsions. I mean, you would
Literally
have thought that we were possessed.
in the middle of a theater lobby, the two of us are like on the floor going, holy crap. For us, like, we are still very new to screenwriting for a feature film. And anytime we get any accolade, we can't believe it. We can't believe we made a quarterfinals. We can't believe they accepted our script. To win something
Yeah.
it's just wild. Like, I'm unsurprised that the Jello in room 913 won because Justin's a fantastic writer. I'm like, he's been writing forever. He's a wonderful writer. But for us, for a screenplay, just it's amazing. So
Yeah,
thank
because
you,
we
Cordillera.
don't often fancy ourselves as writers. I mean, we
Yeah,
do,
we
but like
do.
not in the same category as some,
Not
not
wieners.
not in the winning category.
Not a wiener. So thank you, Cordillera. We are so honored and so thrilled, and we are so excited to have won your. I hear nothing but amazing things about your festival, and I can't wait to go someday in the
Mhm.
future. We're
Yep.
gonna work that out. Oh, all right.
All right, now
So
to the meat of the
now to the
episode.
meat of the day. Now let's jump into today. Is going to be all about film festivals from a different perspective.
Yeah,
Um, we are fresh, like we said earlier. We are fresh off of festivals. We've been doing festivals all year. Actually, we just constantly, like once a month, one of us is at a festival for
yeah,
something. We've been to festivals as just attendees. We've been to festivals as just filmmakers, and we've been to festivals as filmmakers and as personalities attached to the festival and just as commentators and interviewers. And so we've seen
yeah.
things at all sides. And Natalie has had the blessing as well of working with the Gig Harbor Film Festival as a social media manager and getting to see the other side of
Other
that.
side of it.
gosh, when you got that job and started talking to me about things, like, the
Mhm.
things that you would tell me were so educational for me as a filmmaker, like, oh, like, it's really informed my thought processes on it.
Yeah, I mean, we've got, the social media side of it. Both Gig Harbor and Dubuque consider us festival ambassadors, is what they call us. And we come there and we do interviews and we will host the award ceremony and stuff. So I think we have a little bit of a different perspective than just being the filmmakers attending, which I think we've already given that we have an episode on that if you want to
Mhm,
watch that. But coming off of these festivals, we wanted to like give some insight, some things that we learned, some things that I think will help you as filmmakers in your festival journey, which is for short films often is all of its journey. That's it. For feature films, it's drumming up attention so that you can have distribution on the other side of it.
mhm.
So yeah, we're gonna dive into a couple
Yeah.
different areas of that.
So we were fresh off of Gig Harbor,
Mhm.
and we if you were following along on our Instagram stories, you would see the plethora of marketing that we did. Like, we had 4 different projects and a million different pieces of marketing. We're very
Mhm.
big on that. We love it. We have, like Natalie said, we have a whole episode that's about marketing your film, your short film at a film festival. Go check it out. We have, like, that was at the Dubuque International Film Festival, and we had a lot of other films with their stuff. So there's a lot of ideas floating around. I loved
Mhm.
every second of it. Um, so we're gonna focus on our interview work and our ambassadorship for the Gig Harbor Film Festival.
Mhm.
We have been blessed with the ability to be interviewers at the Gig Harbor Film Festival. It is I really enjoy doing it. Like,
I do too. Mhm.
I've learned so much about people, their films, filmmaking, just being able to have this place where I get to ask them things like, and it's okay to ask. It's not as awkward as just having a drink in my hand and being like, "So tell me about your work on this film."
Yeah. Mhm.
It's been great, and from that, we have put together a little list of things that we think are to keep in mind. So, I think the first thing for me is whenever you see an opportunity like that at a film festival, you see that they are offering, like, hey, there's gonna be people doing interviews. There was also some gentlemen doing a podcast while we were there. There's gonna be the film festival is gonna try and set up these opportunities for you as a filmmaker to go and, market yourself. This is another
Mhm.
form of marketing. Take advantage of that. Do it. Don't hang back and think, "Oh, do they wanna interview me?" They wanna interview. My gosh. Like,
Mhm.
us trying to rustle up interviewers is half of our battle. Like, "No, no, no, don't be shy. Come get an interview with us. This is really good for you. This is gonna
Mhm.
give you a piece of content to put on your Instagram account. It gives social credibility to the project that you're doing. It shows that you were
Yeah.
there doing the thing, which is good for other film festivals to see, like, oh, that filmmaker goes to the film festival and does the thing. Like, it's
Well,
all a part of it.
I think it's also good for you to get hired for other things. When they
Yeah.
see that you're out there hustling and doing the grunt work of promoting your film, someone might be, I mean, as an actor, as a director, as a DP, as a whatever it happens to be. And I will say that a lot of times at festivals, and we can't speak for all festivals, a lot of times, I mean, because I know the bigger boys are very, specific about who gets their interviews, and
Yes.
um, but a lot of these festivals will focus on the director. Like,
Mhm.
the director is who they wanna talk to, but, like, if you ever see us, we don't care. One of the greatest interviews we ever did was with a DP. Like,
Yes, agreed.
we had and he was on the sitting on the sideline going, "You don't wanna interview me." I'm like, "Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we
Get your
do.
butt over here." So take advantage if you have the opportunity. Now, I will say on the opposite side of that, we did run into Tara and I had some technical issues while we were at this film festival, and we were unable to do our 3rd day of interviews. We just things did not think nothing was aligning for that one.
Everything went
Uh,
wrong.
it was already a hard day because we had something on the front and the tail end of the hour that we had slotted. So we only had that hour specifically. So once something went wrong, it went bad.
Mhm.
Now, the gentleman that wanted to do this interview, and they had done all the right things. They had come and asked. They had all that. We ended up not being able to get to him, and they were very very gracious
Very.
about it. But we have had in the past where people are now pissy with you. And I want to just like remind people that like most often if there is someone doing interviews there, not most often, sometimes when there are people doing interviews there or things like this, they're not getting paid to do that. So they are trying their hardest. They're not like they don't owe you shit. So like, do not ever act like someone owes you. That's a fast way to get a bad interview. Now, we've never done that, but I can guarantee you that I am not as friendly as I could be if you have forced your way into something or guilt tripped me into staying an extra 30 minutes to do another interview after we've been standing here for an hour and a half already, you know. Anyway, like I said, it was not about anyone at this festival. They were all very gracious about it.
They were so gracious about it.
We felt terrible.
We did.
So we're already coming up to them, you know, like with all apologies going, you know, we're so sorry. We're not going to be able to do it. You know, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
You know, on the other side of that.
Stay gracious no matter what, no matter who you're dealing with, no matter who you're talking to. And you just never know, like that interviewer that you think is just an interviewer might be really deeply connected at the film festival. And it's not a good look if you're being kind of cranky with them. We get it. You got these expectations in your head and you want to get these things and it's important to you, but just keep in mind that everybody is a human too. And they're probably exhausted because there's one interview that I remember, like, I was so tired. Like
Tara basically fell asleep during the interview and I just kind of carried the whole thing.
My eyes were open. I was asleep because we're run so ragged by the end of it. So like, stay patient, stay kind. I will never forget those filmmakers now. And if I see them in another film festival, they are the first people on my list. I made them follow me on Instagram. I followed them back. I messaged them so that I could find them again. And I'm going to hunt them down at the next film festival we're at. I remember the name of their film and it's going to happen. Like if they're watching, guys, I have not forgot you. So stay gracious, stay kind.
Yeah.
I think one of the other things in these interviews is like, and this is going to roll into the Q&A stuff later, is like being ready to answer questions.
Yeah. I mean, of course there's going to be questions that come out of left field and everything, but you've done Q&As. And this is where it rolls into the Q&As. You know what's going to happen. They're going to ask you a pretty basic set of questions.
Yeah.
And we are terrible at this, but we always remind ourselves going into the festival, they're going to ask you where they can find you on social media. So have that information in the back of your head when you walk into that interview. You know, I mean, you can't retain it all. And
no, you can't. But there are, like every Q&A we go to, there is always the set of questions that get asked consistently. And so you know that they're going to ask, what was the inspiration for your film? How much was your budget? What was the hardest thing about making your film? What is your advice to your past? Like these questions come up all the time. We hear them over and over again. So like knowing that that's coming, having your answer kind of pre-planned in your head is a smart move on your part.
If you're the kind of person who can't wing it. Like, you know, some people, I mean, I have to have those talking points, like the bullet points of it. But if I rehearse it at all, you'll be able to tell. So like, I'm the kind of person, but I need to know the names. Think about what the names are. Think about what what are those? And then, you know, and then if you're someone who can improv, then have fun with it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm 50-50. Some days I'm great at Q&As. Some days I'm terrible. We're going to skip right into Q&A since that just dovetails right into it beautifully. So Q&As are like another really important part of the film festival. Like when they aren't there, I'm always let down. When they are there, don't hesitate to, again, be involved, get up there, especially if they're letting the full, like the producers and the DPs up there, get up there because it's better for the project if you're involved. It's better for you personally if you're up there and involved.
And you never know when you're going to be the right person to answer the question.
Exactly.
Like sometimes they think they're asking the director this question, but it was actually the DP who would be the, you know.
Exactly. You never know. And you being up there actually helps your director. Like there's been a couple festivals where they just let the directors up there and then they ask a question that's very DP. And I'm like, dang, I wish they let everybody else up there. Cause the director's like, I don't remember what the camera was. What was it again? Like not that specifically, but you know, that happens.
Yeah. When you asked me, I would have no idea what camera we were on.
And I know that like I know it's not always the most fun for everybody to get up there and do Q&As. Like I know that like we both have a bit of social anxiety when it comes to getting up there and speaking. I get nervous most of the time, like right before I go, oh no, why am I up here? Why am I speaking? Like especially if I'm the actor in the project, like my actor Q&As, I was like, I shouldn't be up here. I should not be a part of this. Like, I have nothing to say or offer.
I will say that when there's a large group of people on stage, sometimes it's just you and you're the only film that's represented there. Other times there's somebody from every film. It's okay if you don't have anything to answer for that one. So like if they're asking a DP question and you're the actor, you don't need to answer that. Like don't take up, because the thing is you're taking up valuable time that they could then ask a question that really does pertain to you. And now you're just vamping. There's no need. Like, so, I mean, I'm not saying don't feel like if you have something to contribute, but like if the mic gets to you and you don't have anything that's on that topic, just say, I'll defer to my director and hand it over. You know,
many times I passed that mic.
That's perfectly acceptable. Yeah.
But if you do have those social anxieties, like Natalie and I both get a little nervous about doing Q&As, and I at least put my foot in my mouth once a year badly at a Q&A. Natalie, you're laughing at me because you know what I'm talking about. Once a year. Once a year I will do it. It's a guarantee. I will beat myself up for 3 days afterwards. It's why I don't want to do Q&As. I don't want to have this moment. But just remember, even then, the audience is rooting for you.
Yes.
And they're going to forgive you. They're rooting for you. This isn't a test. This isn't well, are you a real filmmaker? Question and answer test, because I'm like, that's what I worry about. Like, I swear I'm a filmmaker. I promise I belong here. It's not that.
So as a filmmaker, I'll do this from two sides. As a filmmaker, you're standing up there, you're walking up there, and like people are leaving the room, and you're like, oh, okay, you know. And then you get to that point where no one has any questions. But like, as a filmmaker, I want you to think about this. The people who stayed in the room wanted to be there for the Q&A. They actually probably have the same level of social anxiety, and they don't want to ask their questions because they don't want to be a dumb question. So like, think about it that way. These people stayed to find out what you had to say. The ones who left. They're not interested. So anybody who's still in that room is interested. From the other side, there's something very painful about standing up there and having no questions asked to you. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. That is why they are there. They 100% walked up there with their social anxiety because they like everyone likes this, and it is, or likes this. Everyone, I don't know. But everyone walked up there ready for this. And to stand up there when there's no questions and you have a host of the Q&A who can't pivot on that, now you're just awkward. So even your stupid question in that moment feels better than nothing.
Yes.
So those are the two sides of the Q&A coin.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. There's no question. No question is stupider than dead silence.
Yeah,
for sure. Also, if there's something that there are going to be questions that come up that you may not want to answer, like maybe your film was very, very private, like a very, very personal experience that you're sharing, and it's vulnerable,
or it's money and you can't answer the money question because that's
the money question. Already have in your head the way to get out of it graciously. You've got a really good one. One of a filmmaker that we know gets asked the question about the money question, and he has a wonderfully gracious way of getting out of it that says, I don't want to answer that.
Right.
But
it's not making you feel stupid for having asked. And that's, so as a filmmaker, just be nice. You're a party host. You're part of the party host. Like someone's going to ask you stupid questions. It's going to happen. As I just said, there are no stupid questions. And actually there's not, but there are ones that you don't feel comfortable answering.
Yes.
No, I will say, never mind. I won't say, we'll save that for a different day. But there are going to be questions that are too personal. And there's gonna be questions that I had somebody ask me to put myself in my director's or my writer's shoes for something for Obit. And I was like, I'm not going to speak to his mental state while writing a movie about suicide.
Absolutely.
I said, I'm not going to do that, with a big smile on my face.
You handled that really graciously, dude. Like you have a really tough one, it being a very personal experience to the writer and director, and it being a very sensitive topic that's really easy to speak poorly on.
Yeah.
You handled it graciously. I think you already kind of knew, I'm not going to touch on those things because I don't feel like I have the thing for that. And I thought you handled it beautifully. Then that's hard to do.
And that was just one being, not that I had a rehearsed thing, but I was mentally prepared that someone was going to ask me the impetus behind the film. And I was going to be like, I can't speak to that. I was
Yeah.
not. I mean, it's not my story to tell, and you just
Yeah.
walk away from that because I know the story behind it. Not my story to tell.
Yeah, I think that
Mhm.
was a I think you did a beautiful job, and, like,
Mhm.
that's another one of those be prepared for that, especially when you're not the director or writer or the seed of the idea, you're gonna need to get out of that gracefully. Um,
Mhm.
Also with Q&As, something else we wanted to impart to you is don't get discouraged. Sometimes the Q&A is a lot of people and you don't get a chance to really talk very much, or all the questions are going to one film, which it happens.
It happens.
Don't or you in the case of a movie we actually saw a scene in the movie, the filmmaker didn't get to answer any of the questions and the mic kept getting passed over him. Very
Mhm.
funny in the movie, just to be clear, that was in the
That was
movie.
yeah, that was not
That
not real life.
but it was funny in that movie because that does happen on accident often.
Mhm.
Don't get discouraged, don't let it get you. Although Q&As are important and cool and amazing, they're not the be all end all to your festival experience.
Well,
And
I
when
will
you
say
Go
yeah,
ahead.
I was gonna say, may I this last one, May I Put You on Hold was up there with Obit and another film called, Guest in My Country
Yeah,
and something else, and all the questions were going towards Obit and A Guest in My Country because they were the heavier make you think ones,
they had
and
stuff.
now it doesn't mean that either one of those were anybody in this audience's favorites. It just meant that they had like questions walking out of
Right.
it. Whereas May I Put You on Hold is a much more straightforward,
Mhm.
unless you were asking like where and the one question that they have is where did this come from? And the writer wasn't there. So
Yeah.
like so you guys like
Mhm.
got it was passing back and forth between Ben and John over and
Right.
over.
Mhm.
And then eventually there was an
There was one or
everyone
two,
question. Yeah.
and
But
that's okay. That's okay. Like, I mean, I think both Ash and I knew getting up there were 2 heavy hitters in the block that we were like, we're kind of the comedy. There's some heart to ours, but, like, there's so much more fodder to discuss with those more serious films, and
I'm
it
gonna
just
cut
it
it Sorry, I'm gonna cut into the to our comment section here really quick, which
Oh,
we don't normally do. Sam just said, "If the Q&A has to be cut short, the host needs to suggest that the questioners treat the filmmakers to a drink and continue the conversation." And I'm
I
gonna
love you,
employ that from
Sam.
now on when I host
I
Q&As.
love that. I
100%.
love that, yeah.
Mhm,
Well, and to that point, like, don't let it discourage you because so often later in the lobby or at a party, somebody who was there at that Q&A will come up and go, "Oh, I loved your film so much," and then have their questions there because they were too nervous to ask it. So
mhm,
it's not a reflection on your film. It just is what's happening in the moment. And the fun of the festival, the interacting, the engaging, the talking about your movie will still happen. It may just not happen in that moment.
mhm.
And if maybe you'll get a drink out of it if Sam is there doing your
Sam.
Q&A, because
Yep.
that's always nice. Well done, Sam. Well done. So often also, Natalie and I are now ambassadors of film festivals, a job that I never knew existed. I don't think
It
it did
doesn't.
exist.
No.
We
We
just
had to
kind of
make up a
fell into
title.
this. Yeah, we did. And it's been if you told me 8 years ago that your greatest joy in life was gonna be going to these festivals as a personality, I'd be like, "No way, get out of here." But it is. It has been such a keystone in my life lately. I love going. I love film festivals. I love being a part of it. And it has taught me, I think taught both of us some really amazing lessons that we just feel we gotta impart on you. I'm gonna let you take this because this is really your brainchild here. The karaoke camaraderie. I love that you phrase
So
it that way.
well, because it's a thing, and I'll just tell you what karaoke camaraderie in itself is. When you go to karaoke and you're going to sing, I mean, you should do it no matter what, but you're going to sing that the way I get out of like being terrified of it and the way I make sure that I have cheerleaders in my corner when I'm up there is I'm a cheerleader to every single person that walks up there. You get your biggest applause, you get me singing along, people from other groups, not from my own. Like I call it karaoke camaraderie. If I am your cheerleader while you're up there doing this kind of scary thing, then when I go up there, the room is on my side. And so that I think that spills over into life, but it also
Mhm.
spills over into being a filmmaker at a festival. If you are going up and introducing yourself to people and getting to know them and wanting to know about their film, they're going to want to know about your film. And I'm not saying everything is like a self-serving motivation. I think it's the way to live life. I just think it's the way to do it and to
Yeah.
not it's the easiest way to do it. Like you can just
Mhm.
go and be genuine, which Hen is amazing at this. Hen goes to
Oh,
everyone's screenings every
amazing.
single time she's there. And
She does.
I start to feel bad because I'm not going to enough of Hen's screenings. And she's like, "You've already seen it." And I'm like, "Yes, I have 3
But
times,
yeah.
but you've seen my film now." And it feels like more because we have more films in, I think. But
Mhm.
but I do always feel like, "No, but you make sure you're at all of my screenings." And so
Yeah.
I wanna be just as supportive of you and your next project and your screening and your Q&A. And I think that's so you get that somewhat at parties, you get that some, but go to people's screenings and, ask questions. And then when they're at your screenings, they're going to ask questions. You're so much more likely to care about someone else's film if you've got to know the filmmaker that's there.
Oh, yeah,
And
big time.
you're going to want to go see it. And
Mhm.
that to me is even a larger part of networking, not the negative side of networking of just
No, the
like,
friend-making networking,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Like these are and that's how you end up like, and then you can ask real questions about their film. You're not
Yeah.
asking BS ones, and then you've seen their film and you go, "Oh, well, how did you do this? Or where did you film this?" And now when you're out at the bar, you actually have real conversations to have
Mhm.
about each other's
Yeah,
films. So anyway, karaoke camaraderie is what I term it as when it
I
comes to
love it.
karaoke, but I think it fits into, we could call it festival camaraderie, but karaoke camaraderie just has such a better
It's
like
a nice ring, and we so
chime
often
to it.
karaoke at film festivals, so it all
Mhm.
makes sense in my head. Yeah,
Mhm.
just being everyone's cheerleader, like, that's a great life lesson anyways. I think they did a study that said that the most popular teenagers, at high school, the ones that had the most friends, the most popularity, actually liked the most people. So it wasn't that most people liked them, it's that they liked everybody else, and so that is what made them popular with everybody else, is that they liked everybody. So that
Mhm.
same thing of going and liking everybody and going to their things, like that's going to make you more popular too. And again, not to be self-serving, but you're going to have such a much better time if you do
Yeah.
that. You're going to have the kind of fun that Natalie and I like. They're fun. Film festivals
Well,
are fun.
I mean, it literally comes down to the difference of like the studies of if you smile, you're in a better mood. Like it's
Yeah.
the same thing. If you're
Yeah.
going to have fun and watch people's things and like you are having a better time and thus
Yeah.
other people have a better time with you.
Yeah. And
Um,
on that same note of positivity and happiness and bringing joy, if you don't have something nice to say, just don't say anything at all. Like my family likes to call this lobby talk. It's a very big no-no. My family's in the theater, and we do not talk about the play in the lobby. We save any real critique and criticisms we have for something until we are at the dinner table and it's just the three of us and we know that no one can hear us because we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Like we don't want to have a discussion in the lobby about like, well, that movie, cha 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 cha, and then
mhm.
the mother of the filmmakers right
Yeah.
behind us and overhears us and doesn't understand the critique of the film that we're making is actually like a constructive criticism, not negative. Anyways, just like, keep it positive, keep it nice.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't have any problem with having like a critical thought. I mean, critical
No,
conversation about something
no,
or technical or
not at all.
whatever. But like, don't just criticize for the sake of criticizing. If you don't
Yeah,
like it, it's okay to say, "Oh, it wasn't my cup of tea." But like,
that's lovely. That's perfect. Yeah,
don't, like, I don't know. And yes, you never know who's sitting next to you in that theater. We had a
yeah.
terrible experience one time. There was a film that was just not, it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. And Tara and I are sitting in the very back row of a film festival, and we are like laughing, but not with you, kind
Mhm.
of. And then the credits roll, and I'm scared to even say this, that like the credits roll and it was the best part of the film. The credits were hysterical. And I said out loud, "This is the best part of the film." Now, luckily, the people sitting next to me who were the filmmakers thought that I was on their side the entire time. They never took that as a negative once. My laughs were
Thank
in the
God.
right place, but for the wrong reason. But I had no idea that I was sitting next to the filmmakers. I had
Yeah.
absolutely no notion of that. And while I hadn't said anything really negative, I let my feelings, I thought I obviously this was 7 years ago and I still
Oh,
feel
yeah.
bad about this behavior. And I'm like, "Okay, learn my
Yeah.
lesson.
Yeah.
Don't." Yeah.
Like, you just, learn this lesson by us telling you so that you don't have to have the same like, uncomfortable experiences that we've found ourselves in just by just being human. It
Yep.
happens.
Natural reactions,
Um
hide them if you can. Yes, we stole that from Bambi.
All right. So if you're going to festivals and being a part of the festival world, like just because you're going to the festival, that actually kind of makes you an ambassador of the festival. Once you get there, you're part of the thing. It's the only reason why we wound up being technically festival ambassadors, because we went to these film festivals and we loved them so much. We wouldn't shut up about how great they are. We
Mhm.
wouldn't stop being the life of the party at the parties. Like we wanted the festivals to succeed as much as the festival people wanted it to succeed, and we wanted to be a part of making that happen for them. So we try to make it as fun as possible too. And I feel that because we've done that, we've endeared ourselves to festivals, and it just makes the festival process better. Like, we make more friends, they wanna help us more, they're more likely to accept our films. I mean, not that we're not gonna get rejected, because we still our films still get rejected from our favorite festivals, but it
Mhm.
doesn't hurt that, they know Natalie and Tara are gonna go and make it fun.
I'll take the leg up. I will take
I will take
I'll
any
take
leg up
any
I can get.
yeah.
But this is a big one. Like, once you get that opportunity to go, going and being fun and enjoying and connecting with people, like, that helps the festival. And whatever helps the festival does help you.
Well, and this we're gonna start moving into my social media and having
Oh,
actually
yeah.
worked for a festival in a minute, but, kind of leans into that, is that when festivals are selling their VIP access tickets, one of the things that they're selling is mingling with you, and
Yeah.
I did not it wasn't until I was on the social media side of this and I was trying to sell the tickets for a festival that I kind of even clocked it the same way. Because I always thought, we go to, and I'll use the Moorkill party as an example. We go to this party at someone's house in Gig Harbor, and I've always thought of it as like this social, like this is the time that all these people get together this year, and they don't care about the filmmakers. I don't want to bother them. They're having their own conversation. They know each other. And then I watched how we sell the tickets, and I went, oh, I'm a commodity. And
Mhm.
if they go and they're wallflowers and they don't have any fun, then next year they're not going to sell tickets. They're not going to buy those tickets. And
Exactly.
if they
Yeah.
don't buy those tickets, that's one less lunch I get at the festival. So if the most
Yeah.
I can do is go and chat with the locals, like, if
Mhm.
someone wants to talk to me, I'm so much more, I'm not just more receptive to it now. I and I don't look at it as an obligation. Don't ever feel like you have to whore
No.
yourself out. And I will say it that way. But if you're receptive to the conversation, have it, because that's part of what they are there
Mhm.
for. This is a big deal to them. This is
Yeah.
their chance to rub elbow. They think you're a celebrity. Now, not
Yeah.
all of them, but they think you're a celebrity. And who doesn't want to feel like a celebrity? Let them like tell you how amazing you are for a couple hours, or like be really
Yeah.
interested in your film. How often do you have to force someone to listen to you talk about your film? Like, this is someone who actually wants to talk
Wants
about your film.
to.
Practice on them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like Nelly is saying, you're a commodity, you're the shiny thing, you're the like,
Mhm.
it's all it's if you're having a good time and engaging with the VIP pass holders, the locals, you're helping the film festival bring more money to them so that the film festival can get better and better. So, like,
Mhm.
don't think of it as an obligation. Don't worry about being nervous about, like, oh, what am I gonna say? Like, get in there and help the film festival by being a part of the film festival. Like, you do so much good for them when you do that. And you're right. Like, until you put it that way, it didn't really occur to me that, like, kind of my job once I get there is to help the festival be a better festival. And my personality is what's doing that.
And again, I keep saying these things like they are self-serving, but
Yeah.
it's not that's not the
But
only motivation behind it. It
yes.
is it is I want this festival to do better,
Yeah.
partly because that does better for me. Next year there
Yeah.
is another bottle of wine when there is, they're able to sell more VIP tickets. They are able to sell
Mhm.
more sponsorships and stuff like that. If you're having a good time, like, so it's a win-win.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was born out of a genuine love for these spaces and places,
Mhm.
but, like, Nellie and I have discovered, like, oh, us doing this love for them, it does help them, and then it does help us, like, it just all it's that thing you and I love to talk about, which is the boats. All, high tide rises all boats, like, be a part of the
Yeah.
tide. Yeah.
Mhm. Be a
Um,
part of the tide,
be a part of the
a
tide.
rising tide, yeah.
Another,
I like it.
like, and truly important thing to do for these festivals at the very end is the review.
Mhm.
Writing a review, like, I still owe a couple of reviews, but writing a review for the festival, if you have positive things to say, writing a Film Freeway review helps them more than you possibly know. I think
Yeah.
that's probably part of how they rank on the Film Freeway, is like how many reviews they're getting. It
Mhm.
helps, if you don't enjoy a film festival, maybe don't write anything and your silence can speak,
And
but
you
you
can just never submit again.
never submit again. But if you enjoyed it, let other filmmakers know that this is one worthwhile, and that's one of the
Mhm.
many places do it, and doing it there helps the film festivals. And film festivals are here, they're trying to be cool. They don't wanna, like, ask and beg you to review, but they need you to. So
Yeah.
do it. Sam is really good about saying at the very end of the film festival, "Guys, please give us a review." Like, that's hard to do. He's brave by just asking for that. So just
Yeah.
remember as a filmmaker, like, do that for them because it does mean the world to them. And it's nice to
Mhm.
read good reviews about yourself. It makes you feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, in addition to all of the ambassadoring going as filmmakers, we've gotten lucky because of Natalie's gumption and skills. She's become the social media manager for the Gig Harbor Film Festival. And good Lord, have we learned so much because of your work with them. Like, it's been
Yeah.
so informative. Not just like, how to be and how to get in and what that's all like. But
Uh-uh.
also, like, once you get in, there's all these things that you make it easy for people. I'm gonna
Yeah.
let you do a lot of the talking here because I don't want to interrupt the amazing flow I think we're about to have.
I don't know what's gonna happen. There's just some bullet points here, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
rant is
yeah,
what it says.
you
It says
I've
rant,
heard you. I know you've got
literally.
good stuff. Yeah, I know you got good stuff in that brain. I don't want to mess up that flow. I'm gonna go,
Yeah.
and yeah, a lot.
So having done social media for Gig Harbor for 2 years, and having no idea what I was doing when I walked into it, my big thing, and the reason that I'm doing it is because being a filmmaker, they think that I know how to appeal to the filmmakers, which I think to a degree, I think that,
Mhm.
and I put myself into a situation that didn't need to be as hard as it is, but I do a post about every feature, and then I do an individual post about every short block. But within that, I try to get your descriptions and your blah blah. So everyone gets not the same amount of love, but a lot of love, and that's like my whole goal is I hate it as a short filmmaker, never feeling like you were ever even present at a festival. Anyway, that created a lot of work. There are there were 91 films this year, I think is what it was, total. Now, these are the things as a filmmaker that you can do to make my job easier and not make me angry with your film from day one. We actually will break this down next Thursday.
Oh yeah.
We're going to next Wednesday, we're going to record a behind the scenes so you can see what it looks like inside Film Freeway, for the film festival, because I think that's helpful to
Me too.
filmmakers. But for now, I'm just going to rant about some things. Don't make me hunt down your promo material. Do not. There is a spot in the submission form for your poster, for your on your page for your project. There should be a poster. There should be stills. Now, sometimes you don't have these things. Put in like you can go and make a screen grab that is the right shape and size so that I have something. And I the number of films that I had to go hunt down a poster for. Now, on the note of posters, there is an acceptable size for posters. Do not do I mean, sometimes every once in a while you got to do a horizontal picture,
Mhm.
whatever.
Right.
Give me an alternative. Give me an option because I am plugging you into pre-existing artwork and you have made me make new artwork to fit in your picture every single time. If I can plug you in, makes my job easy. When I'm doing 91 films and now I have to, and the same thing with the program, we're going through and now we're picking the picture for the program because you didn't put a poster up there.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying go pay for a poster. Take a screen grab from your film, put it in Canva, and then you get to pick what the screen grab is versus me picking a screen grab. Documentaries are the worst at this, and I don't know why. Like, I feel like it should be the exact opposite. A documentary has a social thing that they're trying to express and tell
Yeah.
you about, and yet 90% of the documentaries don't have a proper poster and don't have any artwork or stills from their movie or, put that shit in there. Um, at the same time, sometimes you have that and it's not on your Film Freeway. Once you get a poster, plug it into your Film Freeway. Why am I having to go and find your poster? You have a website. Go put your poster on the Film Freeway. Okay. Next part of that. See, I told you this was going to go.
It's gonna get
Socials.
heated.
there is a place for social media on Film Freeway. I spend way more time than I need to spend trying to hunt down directors of films and hunt down. Now, I don't need all your socials. You can put in there one for the film, and that's fine. From there, I should be able to easily find the socials for a director, producer, or whatever. But do not put nothing unless you don't want me to tag you. And then that's fine. You can go sit out in La La Land, never getting your film tagged on anything, and no one will ever find it. And now you've just wasted $25,000 making a movie. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
What else do I got here?
I mean, that's the big thing is like by not having these social things ready, your package essentially, by not having your handles ready, not having your poster ready, not having this stuff at the ready, you run the risk of wasting $25,000 that you made your movie by not getting the word out about the movie that exists. Like, it's not cool. You're not being a cool guy by not making yourself accessible.
Oh,
You're making it hard to honor the hard work that everyone just put into your movie by not
mhm.
making it accessible.
Okay, this is on that same social media one with like your socials. There are a lot of filmmakers that have that like cool guy, no one can tag me thing going on. And I'm like, okay, like you're curating a look or something. I don't know. But
Mhm.
then I'm not going to tag you then. And you're the
Yeah.
only film on this post that no one can find. Because I go out of my way to make sure that every film is tagged. Because if someone wants to go and find, and you know what often it is? It's the other filmmakers. The other filmmakers want to find you. It may not be
Yeah.
like Joe Schmo at the thing, but I met a guy named Pat at the last film festival. And I go back to the social medias and find where he's tagged.
Mhm.
For
Yeah.
the love of Pete. Now, collaborations are awesome. I like how Instagram's doing
Oh,
collaborations
I
now.
love
Don't
that. Yeah,
expect me
yeah.
to accept all of your collaborations. I may just
Mhm.
repost now that I have the option because
Yeah.
we've curated a look also.
Mhm.
And I don't want it to ever look like I'm giving special favor to other films. If it ever looks like we're giving special favor to other films, it's often because they're more active on social media. And
Genuinely. Yeah.
I don't have to do extra work to give them more love.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, on the note of that cool guy director or cool guy whatever, like, you don't wanna be tagged or you're just being funny about your Instagram account, like, how else am I gonna find you to hire
yeah.
you? I loved your movie, I loved your style, I loved your frame. You're the perfect guy to direct my next thing. How am I gonna find you if you don't make
Yeah.
it easy for me to find you and I want to give you money? So,
Even if
like,
you have just a dummy account that is for that
yeah,
alone, like, you can have a
yeah,
personal account. I know you don't want to, like, I don't know. Like,
totally fine.
I will if I find I mean, if I can't find your Instagram, I've gotta be honest, I do spend way more time than necessary trying to hunt you down, um, and I will link, um, websites and stuff like that, but I'll
Mhm.
link it the one time I do this giant post, and then the next time one of our winners doesn't have any social media presence, like, their director, I can't tag them, and their film doesn't have one, and I'm just like, "Okay."
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
You Yeah, we're not
y
saying you have to go be a social media person. We're
no.
not saying to go get have to be an Instagramming kind of person. You can have just an Instagram account with like a few pictures up there and be done with it, just so that there's another contact point. Because so much of this
Yeah.
contacting people has moved to Instagram. I'm sorry that's the way the world works, but it's not email anymore.
Okay, new thing, if you create an email that is attached to your film, check your fucking emails. Like, do not like because I will with a feature. I'll be like, hey, do you have a digital press kit? You know, like, and I will
Yeah.
email them. I didn't email you a month in advance. I emailed you the week that I'm trying to do your post. And if you don't get back to me, now I'm scrubbing your film. Also, me just giving myself more work. I'm like, I'm scrubbing your film trying to find stills that I think tell a story. Okay. That's just me being a crazy person. But don't make me do that.
No, but
Like, you're on the back
the
foot.
thing is, you're the kind of person who will do that because you wanna honor every single person. You know how it feels.
Mhm.
You wanna do your very best to make sure that you've done everything you can do to help filmmakers get the word out and be reachable. Not every person is gonna do that.
No,
Like,
most of
not
them
every
will not.
most won't. They'll just move right on, be like, "Well, there's no poster here. I'm moving on. I'm not gonna put your poster in my thing because 'cause I'm not gonna ask you. Moving on, next thing."
Right. And then on the last note for this, like, things that you need to have on your film freeway, and I will stand by this till the end of time. Short films, this does not apply to you because it's your short. If you have a feature and you are already submitting to festivals, you should have a trailer. Even if it's a scene, I don't care what it is. I need part of my ability to market your film for the festival is to link to a trailer. Now, again, I understand that's more money, that's whatever, or have a release date so I can at least say this one will be out and I will check back in. But if there is zero reason that by the time a film festival is marketing your film, you don't have a trailer yet.
Yeah.
Because from when you submitted to the closing to them announcing to now, there's been at least a month. Least a month. And I understand that it's expensive. I understand that that's another price point. Bake it in, or you just wasted $250,000. I mean, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. I think the long and the short thing to remember that with films of any size, when it comes to, if you watch what the big boys do when they make their, $100 million movies, they spend just as much money marketing their film as they do making the movie. And those principles, the ideas of that need to carry over to even us smaller filmmakers. Like, we need to spend just as much time, energy, and effort, that is our money, into marketing our films as we did making the movie. Otherwise, you are just disservicing your film. It doesn't make you cool to not be reachable. It doesn't make you cool to not have your handles up there and be accessible. It just makes it, you're not honoring all of the work you just did by not doing the marketing part. Like, I was talking to somebody at a gathering one time. I was saying, hey, I'm so busy. I'm an actor in these movies and I got to go to these film festivals. And they're like, well, you don't have to go. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Yes, I do. This is part of the marketing of the movie. Like, this is part of the job. It's like, well, you don't have to go. Like, you don't have to be there. Like, I do. What do you think a press junket is? Like, if you're going to make it to the top of the field, you're going to go to press junkets. You're going to have to be interviewed. This is part of the job. And just because there isn't a contract obligating me to do these things doesn't mean I'm not going to do it, because I, as the actor, part of my job is to do whatever I can to help service this film, to get the reach out so that more people see it. Otherwise, what's the point of making it? If no one sees it, if no one knows it exists, what is the point?
What's the point?
Yeah. So, like, the social media manager at these film festivals are working their butts off to make sure that they're doing the marketing job for you, that leg of it, and all of these things. You gotta help a sister out, or Mister out, by having all your sister Mister out by having all your stuff ready. I've gotten to listen to Natalie rant about this for like a year almost. Like, why am I, like, we're on the phone, she's trying to find something, and I'm like, it just reminds me every time, like, you need to have all your ducks in a row, Tara. Get a digital. I need to get my own personal actor digital packet put together, because, like, at some point someone's going to want that, and I need to be able to just hand it straight over and go, here you go.
Yeah. And it goes back to, we've talked about like the lightning strike situation, being ready for that. And we're bad about this. We're bad about, but when we fill out our film freeway, we make sure we have written sometimes to a fault. Sometimes to a fault. Okay, like that goes into this next one. Okay, hold on.
Okay,
we're gonna wrap it up with talking about, I think we're gonna have to skip Breck Film, because we were going Breck Film Festival. We were going to go into the festivals we just attended. Breck Film Festival was phenomenal. I hate the fact that I still say phenomenal this much. I really think you should attend it, but I was just there as a filmmaker. I mean, I wasn't even there. I was an actor, and I may have made a connection where I have another film I might work on someday. I mean, there's nothing tangible, but it was, a director that I really like their stuff. They really like my stuff. This is that part of that, doing that. Cool. But I want to talk about Cordillera for a second, because it pertains to everything we just said. You're not always going to be on top of your shit.
Nope.
And you may end up being the problem child every once in a while, where you miss an email. So Cordillera, we did everything wrong.
Everything wrong.
We won, palm to face, it says. I thought we had kicked ourselves out of the running because we had missed an email for both of our scripts. That was have all your, now I do think it was probably more for films, not because they need the deliverables.
For sure.
We missed our deadline for the deliverables by 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days.
And sometimes festivals will.
Yeah, normally we are the next
time.
day. Yeah. We are normally the next day kind of people. We're like, we got you everything you need. There you go.
Yeah, we missed our deadlines on both of them. We did announce for Turns Out, I never even announced that the Jello in room 913 was in the running, because I never had time to make that artwork. So yes, you're going to, but one of the things that ended up being an ish because of that was the poster work that they put up for Turns Out on the thing was old poster work. Now that might be that they just grabbed it that first day and downloaded it. It might, and I do think you should keep updating it, but we also, if we had thought through it, we might have gone, oh, we have new poster work, send that in with it, when we do our submission or acceptance. So while all of that is said, don't be too hard on yourself if you do miss your deadlines. Just apologize. Paige, we did the same thing with Paige. We are
Paige.
Paige International,
right in the middle of like us both just being everywhere all at once all the time. And poor Paige International got like a slew of emails of us just like, wait, no, hold on, we didn't mean that. This is what we mean. Like,
please disregard that last email. We replied really quickly. However, we replied wrong really quickly.
Really
and then,
wrong.
Really wrong. Would have disqualified us, and we were like, immediately to send another email that was like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, please disregard that, sending a new email, and they were totally fine. You girls are adorable, cool. But like, guys,
don't do what we do.
We preach it as much as we can.
Do your best.
But do your best. Do your best.
Do your best. You're gonna make mistakes. And then just, again, be gracious as you try and navigate through it. We're all humans too. But don't do what we did, and never slack, because it may kick you out of the running for something really big and cool and important. So don't
especially if it's a deliverable for an actual screener. Like, I've seen people get pulled from festivals all the time because their DCP or their deliverables just never show up. And why? Are you not checking an email? I don't know.
That goes right back to wasting $25,000 to make your short film. Like, that just goes right. Like, if you don't, like, this is not the point, but like, this is all part of the mechanism. So do the thing. Do the thing. Okay. Oh, all right. That is
that's my TED Talk.
Our film festival TED Talk. Like I said, we've built up 8 years worth of experience at this point, and I feel like we have a pretty good handle on a lot of things. Now, we're still learning, we're still figuring it out. We are every year doing more festivals and leveling up to different festivals, and things are different at the bigger, like the Sundances and the Tribecas and stuff. But this is our experiences, the things we've learned at these next tier festivals, the top 50 worth submitting to kinds of festivals. So I hope anything in there was helpful to you, and would love to hear your thoughts on those. If you want to find us on any social media platforms and give us your 2 cents and feedback on festivals. Love learning, and your favorite festivals. All right, we're gonna wrap that up, and we're gonna head into our next most favorite section, which is the singer shot. If you're new here, I was just about to. I saw you doing that. I was like, I'm gonna vamp.
I lost my tab.
I was so ready to vamp for you. I was like,
I thought we were going to need it.
The Abby Singer shot is the second to last shot of the thing where we tell you some vocabulary. Okay, but you've got this, Natalie. What's our Abby Singer shot?
Yeah, the vocab word of the day is over here, and I didn't even put it on a note card because that's how prepared I am today. Coverage. Coverage refers to a collection of shots that you need to gather during filming in order to edit together a coherent scene during post-production. For example, when you're shooting a 2-person scene, your coverage may consist of 5 different shots: a master shot, a pair of over-the-shoulder shots, and a pair of close-ups of each speaker. So you use that a lot. Like, if I see this a lot on student films that I'll work on, that I'm just going, you're not going to be able to edit this together. You're going to have to, it's not going to make sense when you jump from that to that, because you don't have another angle to, you just do a oneer then. Like, if you're not going to get enough coverage, you might as well just do a oneer, which is just doing one long continuous shot, like you're doing a play instead. But it also, this doesn't include this, but we've run into it before where we had to cut an entire scene because we didn't have enough coverage of the room to like cut away to something else so that we could make this transition make sense. And Tara went on the cutting room floor. We were just like, well, we know who's leaving this scene.
We know we're sacrificing here.
There really is there's not a less is more when it comes to like getting footage. Now, you can cost yourself some money by having too much footage because now someone has to weed through that and you have to pay them by the hour.
Yeah.
However, more is more
Yeah.
when you're trying to edit together.
Yeah.
I mean,
In
there's
this, yeah.
even when Tara and I were doing try stuff and it was like, do we have a shot of the door? Because I
Yeah.
really just need a shot of the door. Like, do we have any inserts? Okay, well,
In this modern day and age of digital media, you're not going to film, which costs by the inch. Just get your coverage, get it
get
all,
your
get it all,
coverage, get it.
film everything, film that cat in the corner, get it. You might need it. All right, guys. Before we head out for the day, I just want to thank you again, Toby, for the PayPal to help us make the movie happen. Any of the PayPals we receive, any of the super chats that have happened during this live stream, those all are going to help fund our movie. I think these are all David Faith.
Yeah.
David Faith, buy me a guilt trip. So guilt trip money. Ladies, check your mail when you are done here. It'll be called Getting Crafty. I hope it's what you're looking for. Is that the Bible for Getting Crafty of Maggie and Maud? Because that would be amazing. Thank you, David Faith. All your super chats are going to go into helping make this movie. Any super chat you guys send us during a live stream will go in directly to help us make this movie happen. And no amount is too small. It's all so meaningful. Thank you guys so much. Next week, we're going to be back with an interview episode. I love our interview episodes. This one, it might be a little less interview and a little more TED Talk. V.W. Sheck is a filmmaker. He made a movie with Wei Wang as his DP called Stars Fell on Alabama. He has managed to make a lot of his feature films very shoestringy, and he wants to share this with us. He and I met to talk about something else entirely, and he delved into this conversation about his shoestring budget method of making feature films. So that's going to be next week. I'm excited to hear what he has to say. It's going to be, very much a different interview than usual. So join us for that. And as a reminder, if you are listening to this podcast and you love it, but you want to engage with us more, we do it live every Wednesday on YouTube at 10 a.m. If you're watching this Pacific time, thank you. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're like, man, I really wish I could just put the dishes on and get some really good, clean sound and just like listen to these ladies. This is a podcast that goes up everywhere podcasts are available, usually the next day. And Natalie's gone in there and like done some like audio magic to make it sound magnifique. So check out our podcast. And if you're not subscribed to the podcast on all the podcast places, please do. It helps us when you subscribe there, and it helps us if you share it with your filmmaker friends, because we are actively trying to meet more filmmakers to bring on this show to do interviews like we are going to do next week with VW. So spread it around. We're making friends. Reach out to us. We are trying to meet as many people as we can so that we can learn how to make a feature film, because that is at the end of the day what this podcast is all about. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us this week. We're so happy to be back, and we'll see you again next week. Later, guys.
I almost couldn't find the bumper. Something happened here and I couldn't get to the right screen.
It's because everything is different. We haven't done it in 2 weeks. And
oh my goodness.
So weird. Oh, wait, I'm going to open my comments so I can do this. Welcome to the Credit Cookie, guys. Those of you hanging around after the show know the secret that we stay here and chit chat with you guys directly. If you're new and haven't never done this before, during the podcast, we don't really pay attention to the comments as much because it is a podcast. We'll occasionally pull one that we feel is relevant, but mostly don't. This is the engagement moment. This is where we're going to talk back and forth with you guys.
This is the moment.
This is a little more of a slapdashery BTS on our lives and stuff, starting with, I know you pulled a mug. You said that.
I did. Look at it. It's got the cute.
It's cute.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one. That's
You're going to be a candle. You'll be blue and you'll smell like flowers.
Yeah. I saw, God, what did I see the other day that I was like, oh, I want Natalie to put wax in that and make it smell like these things. Oh man, I'll have to think of it. There was like a nostalgia one that I was like, if Natalie could figure out how to make these smells, they would make amazing candles. And I can't recall. Not that I need to be feeding you more ideas for your life. Like, I have to often pump my brakes on sending you candle related content and candle ideas. I'm like, Tara, This isn't Natalie's full-time job. She doesn't have time right now. She's been just
It's
being
been
an
a
actor
month since
lately.
I've been at the
Yeah, so you pump your brakes. I know you're excited for her about making candles, but like, it's not the primary focus at the moment.
Mighty Guitar Mods. Page is Page International Film Screenplay Competition or something like that. PAGE, turning a page.
Yeah, Page International Screenplays Competition. That's all the words. I did write that down for myself for the podcast and then forgot to ever say it.
Yeah.
Oh, I was reading Drew Daybell. I don't recognize your handle, Drew Daybell.
Drew's a friend of mine from Utah.
Oh, fun. Hi.
He's a festival friend.
He's talking about coverage. It also means you're doing an infant scene and the actor requests it. You may need to provide coverage.
Yes.
Yes. Please cover this with the shot of the candle while we get from here to there.
I don't know what just happened to your stream, Tara, but you are so jumpy now. Like, I mean, your voice is fine, but like something happened.
So at one point during this last stream, you'll see that I gently reached over and grabbed my Ethernet cable and plugged me in because you were so jumpy through the whole thing for me. I could hear you crystal clear. You sounded great. And so sometimes I'd have to stop trying to watch you because I watch you for cues on when to stop talking and when to start talking. Yeah, like I wait. I watch your face.
I'll hold my hand up. My turn.
You'll hold your hand up. You'll take a breath. I watch you take a breath sometimes, or I'll see your eyes do that, and I'll know you have a thought, so I'll stop. But I had to okay, you would freeze. I'm like, okay, I can't rely on the visual. I have to really listen to you so that I know when you're ready to say something. Yeah. Oh my God. This was I don't know what's going on with my internet, but it was not happy. So I you're in a longer talk and I gently reached over because you were jumping and gently tried to plug you in without making any weird audio noises. I was like, no, I'm sure no one noticed that at all.
Right. Wow. Yeah, Tara and I have been running around like chickens with their head cut off. Actually, I had to say, so I got back here yesterday, and while I have a bunch of things I need to do for both Gig Harbor and for Johnson Art Center, I was so relaxed because I didn't have something that I needed to be memorizing. Like a different part of my brain was able to turn off because like the everything for that festival of I was doing the Q&A. I did a Q&A with Bob Mackey. And so even cool. Doing the up until the award ceremony, there is just a part of my brain that got to turn off and I don't, and it's freeing. It was amazing, guys. I highly recommend never memorizing anything in your life. No, that part of my brain has been going nonstop, and there was no more room for new information or to retain information, holding on to information. Yeah.
Yesterday, there's all these things that need to be getting done, right? But my hyperfixation brain my house is such a mess right now, and you know how I am with that. It's not that it's gross or disgusting. It's just that every surface has a jumble of things and my brain cannot, I own a lot of stuff. I'm a lover of precious objects. I am like a wizard who has collected objects from all their journeys and they all live in my house now.
I don't think so. You're the dragon underneath the mountain.
I have so many. I pick up things off the ground. There's a jar of objects I've picked up off the ground, people. This is just who I am. I'm highly sentimental. But I got home and I was like, I can't be in this house. There's too much. It's not that there's a lot of stuff. That's one problem that I can actually kind of emotionally deal with. It's that it's all jumbled. And so I had to I kept having to step away and clean something because my brain couldn't stop hearing the noise of the table next to me. And then it's with stuff that I just unpacked. No, all this has to get, my entire back room got reorganized yesterday. The wood in the corner of the back room was so loud yesterday. I could not focus on reading because I kept hearing the wood telling me it was in the corner. I was like, I'm aware you're in the corner. I'm aware that's where the food needs to go for my cat. But right now I need to read. Fine, I'll put you away. So it was a very emotional day. It was ridiculous.
Tomorrow, we were talking about it just this morning. I was like, tomorrow we will tackle this room and we will get it to a place where guests could come over because this room is just piles everywhere and a lot of things that need to go back to storage. I had to keep taking things out of storage and then not having time to put them back away or whatever. And it's just okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the couch is
Yes.
now covered in clothes. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just say yes, Shannon, the Bob Mackie. Bob
The
Mackie was the opening night feature for Gig Harbor was Bob Mackie Naked Illusions, a documentary about Bob Mackie. And he was there with his assistant, not assistant, I keep needing to stop saying that, with his director of design,
Yeah.
Joe McFate. And
That's
they've been
it.
working together for 20 plus years. Anyway, they were both very, very
They were
lovely humans.
lovely.
They were, I missed telling this story during the award ceremony. I wanted to, because then we hosted the award ceremony too. But so I hosted the Q&A after the opening night screening. And so I got to know him a little bit beforehand. And when we sat next to each other in the theater, like Joe turns to me, he goes, "This is going to be the biggest screen we've ever seen ourselves on." And I could tell that they were both a little anxious about it. And I was like, that's adorable. And
So sweet.
everyone has that same experience. I wanted to like impart it on to the entire filmmaker crowd that was there. That like we all, even Bob Mackie, who now he's not an on-screen personality as much. So it's not, he is I've made dresses for every human who is worthwhile ever, except for
Oh
me. I mean,
gosh.
except for me. But it was
Yeah.
it was magical.
It
Except
was really cool.
I was
Yeah.
nervous to think about it.
Yeah, it was really cool, and you
Yeah.
did the Q&A, which was you did such a great job. You look
Thank you.
fantastic also. Your dress, she was, like, debating about whether or not to wear this sequin dress, like, "You must wear this dress. You look phenomenal in it," and also
Mm,
so appropriate
yeah.
for the Bob Mackie style, like, it had the same, like, not naked illusion, but, like, that,
But it was
like, you're not really seeing
nude sequence.
but
Yeah, but
yeah,
yeah.
you're not really seeing anything, but, like, it has that
But from
illusion to it.
across the room, you might think that woman's naked. Like if you just out of the
Uh-huh.
corner of your eye, they're like, "Why is there
Yeah.
a mannequin over there?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, yeah. It was great. You
but
did a fantastic
and
job.
I got compliments on my dress from both Bob Mackie and Joe.
Yes,
So
and
I
that's
was
all
like,
that matters.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's all. I
Yeah.
do think that they might just walk around handing out compliments to women because they know that's what they want.
Uh-huh. And
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll take it. They complimented my
It is
bunny
what we
slippers.
want. It
I'll
is,
take
yeah.
it. They're like,
It
"I
is
love
what
your
we want.
slippers." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Thank you so much." Yeah, they were lovely. That was so fun. That was opening night, and that was Thursday, and that feels like it was so
Yeah.
long ago right now. Like,
Yeah.
that so much happened from then to the end of the festival, like, all the way to the awards show. That feels like 2 separate lifetimes in my
Yeah.
head for some reason. Yeah, it's just a big festival, though. Did we get to talk about Breck at all yet?
Oh, we did a little, I mean,
A little bit?
no. I mean, just
No.
briefly during the
Just
podcast.
that I forget
Yeah.
where we are in the timeline of things I forget what we've talked about publicly and what we talked about privately, and it's
No,
rough.
our last podcast was the week before Breck. Yeah.
Mm, yeah, yeah, I'm
That was
very
it
good.
was a lot of fun. I really do think that, like, I mean, it's one, excuse me, that I would submit to again in a heartbeat. I do think that our brand of humor, no, our brand of humor will play there. However, they
Okay.
don't do comedies the same way. Like it
Right.
is they're mostly documentaries, they're mostly social impact stories, they're
Mhm.
mostly, and then they have a whole category that is um like snowboarding. It's not snowboarding, but mountain sports type things.
Yeah.
So action sports type films.
Mhm.
So they have one block that takes of it. And it's a very small festival, so really well attended, sold out. There's two comedy blocks and they were both sold out, waiting
Cool.
list. Yeah, so it was pretty
Wow.
cool.
That's awesome.
Great little venue. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then it was just fun. But
Yeah. Yeah, I
so I
heard
would,
I heard n nothing but glowing things from all
yeah.
of our film festival friends, filmmaker friends who went, had nothing but, like, glowing things to say about Brack, to the point that I had massive FOMO that I couldn't make
Mhm.
it. I was like, "Man, I would love to have gone to that one," but
Yeah, I
hey,
mean, it's
life be life.
definitely worth submitting.
Mhm.
However,
Yeah.
it's a smaller festival, it's harder to get in, and it's, like, on its 45th year, so it also makes it harder to
Wow.
get in, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that
They
makes sense.
evidently, though, had, like, a really bad, when COVID hit, their festival almost had to shutter, so they have bounced, and then no
Oh.
one came the next year, and, so, like, they were really
Oh.
worried about whether they were gonna make it through, and there
Yeah.
you go. Yeah.
So they're working on rebuilding the world for them. That's good to know. Cool.
Drew's asking if it was worth missing Horror Fest, which is the horror film festival that takes place in, St. George, Utah, run by the same people who do Desertscape, and I adore them. I haven't gotten to make it to Horror Fest yet because I've always had a festival that same weekend that I've had something playing in. Hey, the year that I have something in Horror Fest will be the first year that I probably get to attend.
Yeah,
you know?
we make Intense or something. We get to
Wacky.
Wacky. Oh my gosh, you gotta make Wacky. That's an achievable project between here and there. Congrats again to Justin. I forgot to tell you this personally, but congrats, Justin, on the Jello in room 913. I have to think really hard because of room 313, the movie that my mom and I made, the short like a million and one years ago. Like I have to take a really slow walk toward the title or I will. And that's why I keep going to Jello, because I know I'm going to mess up that room number eventually. And I don't want to emotionally have that feeling of messing up the title of the film. Yeah. Congratulations, Justin. It's very exciting. We'll have to dive into all the rules and such.
What that means.
The win, what that means, and figure out what
filming something
means.
in Reno, Nevada.
Yeah. Because I mean, I'm excited. All right. We probably should wrap it up. We both have so much going on and to do. Thank you guys for joining us for the Credit Cookie. We'll be back again next week to chit chat after the show as usual. We missed you guys while we were gone, but man, I don't know how we would have done it. So we made good choices, Natalie. We made good choices. All right. See you guys soon.
Bye.